As you relax and get comfortable, take a slow breath and imagine gently drifting away from Earth, leaving behind the noise of daily life and moving calmly into space where everything feels quiet, slow, and peaceful. And a simple but powerful question comes to mind. What exists beyond the universe? Because the universe is often described as everything that exists, including space, time, stars, planets, and even the laws of physics themselves. So asking what is beyond it may sound confusing at first, but scientists and thinkers have explored this question for many years using careful ideas and observations. And to understand it in a simple way, we must first remember that space itself began with the Big Bang around 13.8 billion years ago, which means the universe did not expand into empty space, but instead space was created as the universe expanded. So there was no outer room waiting for it, and this makes the idea of an outside very different from how we imagine things on Earth, because it may be that the universe does not have an edge at all, and if the universe is infinite, it simply goes on forever in every direction, with no boundary and no end, meaning there is nothing beyond it, only more universe continuing endlessly, and in this case, the only limit is how far we can see, because light takes time to travel, and the universe is expanding. So there are distant regions whose light will never reach us, creating a visible limit called the observable universe, which is not the edge of existence, but only the edge of what we can ever observe. And beyond that invisible boundary, galaxies and stars may still exist, quietly forming and changing just like the ones we know, even though we will never see them. And this idea alone can feel both humbling and calming, knowing that the universe may be far larger than anything we can imagine, and yet some scientists suggest another possibility, that our universe may be just one of many universes, part of something called the multiverse, where many universes exist separately, each with its own properties, laws, and histories, some very different from ours, some perhaps unable to form stars or life at all. And in this idea, what exists beyond our universe is not empty space, but other universes that we cannot reach or see, not because they are far away, but because they exist in a different way, separated by conditions of energy or dimensions beyond our experience. And while this sounds like science fiction, it comes from real attempts to understand how the universe began and why it has the properties we observe. And another idea suggests that there may be more dimensions than the three of space we experience every day, meaning there could be hidden dimensions that are very small or curled up, shaping reality in subtle ways. So what lies beyond the universe may not be somewhere else, but something hidden within reality itself, quietly influencing gravity and matter without being directly seen. And when we look even deeper, physics tells us that empty space is not truly empty, because even in the quietest vacuum, tiny particles can appear and disappear for brief moments, showing that nothingness is actually full of activity and potential. And this leads to the idea that before the universe began, if the word before even makes sense, there may have been simple rules or conditions that allowed the universe to come into existence, meaning the beginning was not from absolute nothing, but from a deeper level of reality we do not yet fully understand. And when we think about all these ideas together, it becomes clear that asking what exists beyond the universe does not have one simple answer, because it depends on how we define space, time, and existence itself. And while science may not yet give us a final explanation, it gives us beautiful possibilities that invite calm curiosity rather than fear. And as you continue to rest, you may find peace in knowing that even though we are small, we are part of something incredibly vast and mysterious, and the universe, whether infinite, one of many, or all that exists, has created stars, planets, and minds capable of wonder. And perhaps that is enough to gently let these thoughts fade like distant starlight, allowing your mind to relax, your breathing to slow, and the quiet mystery of the universe to carry you softly into sleep. As your breathing becomes slower and more gentle, let your thoughts drift even deeper into the calm of space, where there is no hurry and no noise, only the quiet presence of existence itself. And imagine floating far from stars and galaxies, where distances are so great that time feels stretched and soft. And here it becomes easier to think about another simple idea, that the universe may not only be vast in size, but also vast in age, with time itself possibly having layers we do not yet fully understand. Because while we often think of time as moving in one direction from past to future, some scientists suggest that time may emerge from deeper laws, just as space does, meaning that beyond the universe could lie a timeless reality where the usual flow of seconds and minutes does not exist. And in such a place, Chan, GE may happen in ways we cannot picture, gently reminding us that our everyday experience is only a small part of a much larger story. And this thought can feel soothing, because it means that the universe is not rushed, not stressed, and not chaotic at its deepest level, but instead follows simple, quiet rules that unfold naturally. And when we look at the universe in this way, we see that everything around us, from distant galaxies to our own thoughts, comes from the same basic ingredients, the same energy and matter arranged in different patterns. And this suggests that even if there is something beyond the universe, it is not separate from us in a harsh or frightening way, but connected through the same underlying reality. And as we rest with this idea, we can imagine the universe as a vast ocean, where our visible cosmos is like a single wave rising and falling, while the deeper ocean remains calm and steady beneath. And perhaps beyond our universe is that deeper ocean, a quiet foundation that allows universes to appear and fade without effort. And some theories suggest that universes may be born and disappear naturally, like bubbles forming in boiling water, each bubble expanding, changing, and eventually fading, while new ones form elsewhere. And if this is true, then existence itself is endlessly creative, gently producing new worlds without intention or struggle. And this idea can bring comfort because it shows that creation is not rare or fragile, but natural and ongoing. And as we return our attention closer to home, we can think about how the same laws that shape galaxies also shape atoms in our bodies, meaning we are not separate from the universe, but expressions of it. And this makes the question of what exists beyond the universe feel less distant, because whatever lies beyond has already given rise to us, here and now. And as you continue to relax, why? O may notice that these big questions do not need answers tonight, because wonder itself is enough, and curiosity does not require certainty, only openness. And in the quiet of this moment, you can allow the mystery to remain gentle and unresolved, like a soft glow on the horizon, knowing that humanity has always looked up at the stars and asked these questions, and that asking them connects us across time and space. And now, as your body becomes heavier and your mind grows still, you can let these thoughts slowly dissolve, trusting that the universe, whatever it contains or lies beyond it, will continue its calm and endless unfolding, while you rest peacefully, carried by the same quiet laws that guide the stars, drifting comfortably into deep and restful sleep. As you sink even deeper into rest, imagine the universe growing quieter still, as if the stars themselves are gently dimming their light so your mind can relax. And in this calm, it can be comforting to think about how little is actually required for existence to continue, because the universe does not need to be watched or understood in order to unfold. It simply follows its natural patterns, slowly and patiently. And this reminds us that whatever may exist beyond the universe is not something pressing or demanding, but something calm and steady, something that allows everything to be exactly as it is. And when scientists study the deepest levels of reality, they often find simplicity rather than complexity, with a few basic rules giving rise to endless variety. And this suggests that beyond the universe may lie an even simpler set of principles, quiet and timeless, gently giving rise to space, time, and matter without effort. And if that is true, then the universe is not an accident, but a natural expression of possibility, like a ripple forming on a still lake. And as you rest with this image, you can imagine reality as layers of calm, with our everyday world resting on deeper and deeper levels of order, each one more peaceful than the last. And even the most powerful events in the cosmos, like exploding stars or colliding galaxies, are part of this larger calm, unfolding over millions or billions of years. far too slowly to feel violent on the deepest scale, and this slow rhythm of the universe can guide your own breathing, in and out, steady and relaxed, reminding you that you are moving at the same gentle pace as the cosmos itself. And when thoughts arise about the unknown or the mysterious, you can let them pass without effort, knowing that not knowing is a natural part of being human, and that mystery does not take anything away from us, but adds depth and beauty to our experience. And perhaps beyond the universe is not something we need to reach or understand, but something that simply exists, quietly supporting all that is. And as your awareness softens further, you may feel a sense of belonging, knowing that you are made of the same matter as stars, shaped by the same laws that shape galaxies, and held within the same vast reality that may extend far beyond what we can see. And this sense of connection can bring deep comfort, because it means you are never truly separate or alone, even in the quiet of night. And now, as your body becomes fully relaxed and your thoughts grow slow and distant, you can allow the question of what exists beyond the universe to fade into the background, like a star slowly disappearing at dawn, trusting that the universe will continue its gentle story without needing your attention, while you rest, peaceful and safe, drifting effortlessly into deep, calm sleep. As the silence around you feels deeper and more complete, imagine that even your thoughts are becoming softer, like distant echoes fading into the night. And in this stillness, it is enough to simply exist, just as the universe exists without effort or intention. And you may find it comforting to remember that everything in the cosmos follows a natural balance, with creation and change happening slowly and smoothly over vast stretches of time. And if there is something beyond the universe, it too would be calm and steady, not sudden or overwhelming, because the deepest parts of reality are often the quietest. And when we think about the far future of the universe, scientists imagine it slowly cooling and spreading out, stars burning gently until they fade, galaxies drifting farther apart, and space growing darker and more peaceful. And this long, quiet future shows us that the universe is not rushing toward an end, but settling into rest, much like you are now. And this image can help your body relax even more, letting go of tension without effort. And in this gentle fading of activity, the idea of beyond becomes less important, because existence itself feels complete in this moment. And perhaps beyond the universe is simply another expression of the same calm, another phase in an endless cycle of change and stillness. And as your breathing remains slow and easy, you can imagine yourself floating safely in this vast calm, supported by invisible laws that have guided the universe since its beginning. And these laws do not judge or hurry, they simply allow things to be, and you are allowed to be exactly as you are right now, without needing to understand anything or do anything at all. And if questions gently return, you can let them drift away again, like clouds passing across a quiet sky, because answers are not needed for rest, only comfort and ease. And now, as your awareness grows dimmer and more peaceful, you can let go of the idea of edges, limits and beyonds, and simply rest within the gentle presence of the universe itself, knowing that whatever exists beyond it, if anything at all, will remain calm and patient, just as the stars have always been, while you drift fully into deep, restful and uninterrupted sleep. As everything becomes softer and quieter, imagine that the universe itself is breathing slowly with you, expanding and resting in a gentle rhythm that never rushes and never stops. And in this shared calm, there is nothing you need to solve or understand, because the universe has existed for billions of years without needing answers, and it will continue just as peacefully. And this can help your mind fully relax, knowing that it does not need to stay alert or active. And when we think again about what might exist beyond the universe, it can feel less like a question and more like a gentle thought drifting by, because beyond may not be a place we travel to, but simply a deeper level of reality that quietly holds everything together, like the silence beneath music or the darkness that allows stars to shine. And this deeper level does not demand attention. It simply supports all that exists. And as you rest, you are supported in the same way, held gently by gravity, by the surface beneath you, and by the steady laws of nature that never forget to work. And this steady support allows your body to sink fully into comfort, your muscles releasing without effort, your thoughts slowing until they feel distant and unimportant. And just as stars do not worry about where they came from or where they are going, you too can let go of concern, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should, and the universe, whether it has an edge or not, whether there are many universes or just one, remains a calm place at its deepest level. And you are a natural part of it, not separate, not small, but connected in a quiet and meaningful way. And as this feeling of connection settles in, your mind can gently drift, like a leaf floating on still water, moving without direction or effort. And now, with each slow breath, you can feel yourself moving further into rest, where thoughts fade into softness, awareness becomes light, and the mystery of the universe no longer feels distant or complex, but calm, warm, and reassuring, allowing you to sink fully into deep, peaceful sleep, carried gently by the same quiet reality that holds the stars. As the night grows deeper and your body feels completely at ease, imagine that even the idea of time is slowly loosening its grip, becoming softer and less important, just as it does in the deepest parts of space, where moments stretch gently and nothing is rushed. And in this quiet state, you can allow yourself to rest without thinking about the past or the future, because right now is enough, and the universe itself exists only in the present moment, always unfolding, never hurrying. And when we think, again, about what may exist beyond the universe, it can feel comforting to realize that whatever it is, it does not disturb the calm we feel now, because the deepest truths of reality are peaceful, not loud or chaotic. And just as the universe supports galaxies, stars, and planets without effort, it also supports you, allowing your heart to beat steadily and your breath to flow naturally. And you do not need to guide it or control it, because everything knows how to continue on its own. And this trust can help your mind finally let go, releasing the last bits of tension like dust settling after a long day. And perhaps beyond the universe is simply more of this gentle order, more quiet balance, extending endlessly in ways we may never fully understand. And that is perfectly okay, because understanding is not required for peace, only acceptance. And as your thoughts become slower and more distant, you may feel as if you are floating gently, supported by something vast and kind, with nothing to fear and nothing to do. And in this state, the universe no longer feels large or overwhelming, but familiar and safe, like a calm presence that has always been there. And now, as awareness fades into softness and silence, you can allow yourself to drift completely into deep, restful sleep, knowing that the universe and whatever may lie beyond it will continue quietly, patiently, peacefully while you rest.